One of my Patreon subscribers messaged me today telling me about how he has replaced Dropbox with Nextcloud and a home server after setting up and running Unraid. But the problem he's having is sending large files to clients. He doesn't want to give out access to Tailscale, and he wants to keep that Nextcloud only accessible via Tailscale, which is absolutely the right thing to do. But he needs to send large files outside of his service. His first step was to set up a file share service and then use Cloudflare tunnels to create links. But for the free Cloudflare plan, you can send a maximum of 100 meg file through the tunnels network, and you can get around that if you upload to R2 and then create a URL, but that's just a whole lot of messing around. There's an easier way of doing this. We're going to install Droppy into Unraid. I'll show you that in a sec, and then we'll configure it to have a Pangolin tunnel, which does not have any limits. And if you haven't installed Pangolin, I've got a video on the Red app and on TikTok on how to set up and install and configure. We need to make sure we have installed Newt. Again, go and look at the videos on setting up Pangolin. First thing is I want to create a share folder, and I'm going to call this Droppy. I'll leave everything set. I hit add share because there's two reasons. One, I want to create a specific folder on the array that Droppy will add to files to and manage files to. But I also want to make sure that I make this network accessible. So I can map this folder onto my computer, and then I can just drag the file. It's in the network share, and then it's automatically accessible by Droppy. Hit apply. Now I'm going to go to my apps, going to search Droppy. Click the install button. Ports, make sure you configure it to have no conflicting ports. Config, have it in the cache. And then we have files. If I do this, I should find my Droppy folder there. Hit apply. Okay, so now if I go into my Docker, I'll see Droppy. I should be able to click Web UI. And then I just set up a user and password. So I'm just going to go user, password, enter, and that's good. I'm going to add a file here. So I've just added a file. Done. Now, if I click the share, you can see it has given me an IP address. Let's fix that. First, I've got my port. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go into my Pangolin instance, click on public. So I've got no public resources. Let's make one. I'm going to call this Droppy. I'm going to add the subdomain Droppy, hit my targets config, project server. I grab the IP address from the Unraid, and I grab my port from Unraid. I hit create resource. Back into general, Droppy, going to change that. Save the settings. Proxy is fine. Don't change anything. Authentication. With Pangolin, as default, it uses the platform single sign-on. So you have to have signed in with Pangolin to be able to access. I'm going to turn that off for now. Hit save. And I can add a password, so you could add it here and just have only clients be able to access. Then you can set your rules. Say if you want to block access, that only people in X country can access these files. So not doing that right now. So technically, there we go. But now that is accessible. I'm going to log in with the user and password I created. And now I should be able to click share, and it has the URL. So that is something I can now share outside of my home network using Pangolin. So 100 meg files, 200 meg files, not an issue.